Hey guys, as we get into today's session, we're going to be talking about powerful people and powerful relationships. First, I want to talk about powerless people. Let's kind of contrast a little bit. What do powerless people do? Well, they use powerless language. Things like, I can't, I'll try, maybe, I have to, very uncommitted type things. These things are basically communicating that I feel powerless to take responsibility for the situation, my actions, whatever. Something else or somebody else is making me do this. If I can't open up, it's because of my dad. If I can't get ahead, it's because of somebody or something, and I just can't catch a break. You know what I mean? They create a relational dynamic, something we call triangulation. You see, they act like a victim, but a victim needs a couple things to really function. I mean, a victim needs a hero or a rescuer. A victim also needs a bad guy. And in most cases, the bad guy is intangible. It's not, sometimes it's somebody, a specific person, but there's not a lot of interaction there. Most of the time, it's the hero that really gets sucked in by the victim. This is just a terrible way to live, and a lot of us find ourselves in these situations. But you see, when we act like a victim, when you're powerless, you're looking for someone to blame. They also try to control others instead of themselves. Let's look at powerful people, maybe the contrast there. They say things like, I can, I will, and I am. This does not mean someone's dominating or controlling. They don't walk into a room and command attention. In fact, sometimes it's very much the opposite. Because powerful people, they don't try to control other people, they control themselves. They refuse to be victims. They take responsibility for their decisions and the consequences of those decisions. That includes mistakes and failures. They choose love. And their choice is what's so powerful. No matter what another person does or says, they choose love. They're responsible for their own happiness. Their driving force is peace. It's love. They also create an environment of safety and freedom for those who are around them. So it's probably obvious by this point, but let's take a look at what Jesus was like. In John 15, Jesus tells us that we didn't choose him. He chose us. In fact, he chose us in the most difficult of circumstances. We were his enemy. He chose us while we're still in sin, while we're still separated from him. Because he was a powerful person. He chose to take responsibility for his own life, his choices. And he chose who he wanted to be with, what he was going to pursue, right? We know that he was about his Father's business. You see, this is the reality that a powerful person has options, has choices, but that's the key. To be a powerful person is about making a choice. It's a decision. So, keeping all that in mind, let's talk a little bit about the purpose of a relationship, of your relationships. You see, every relationship is moving one of two directions. It's either moving towards connection or towards distance, getting further away. But see, the best part of that is it's not set, it's not locked in. But sometimes we can see, and the direction it's moving, it's revealed through different skill sets people use in their relationships. Now, I want to make this really clear. They choose those options. They choose those skill sets to achieve the goal that they have in mind. So let's look at what a skill set that reveals distance or a relationship that's moving towards distance, what that looks like. In that situation, the person's developed a skill set around creating a safe space, right? We've heard that. Safe space from one another, safe space from people even that are supposed to be really close to them. Each moment of every day is really measured on how free they feel, how safe they feel around other people. Sometimes that space is big, sometimes it's small, but it always feels necessary. We're going to talk a lot about building or setting boundaries. And there's a difference between boundaries and walls. If I was running a prison, I couldn't very well just set boundaries for the prisoners, right? Spray paint a little mark on the ground and say, guys, don't leave this area. That's what a boundary is. It's a guideline. It's showing you this is where you're not supposed to go. But you see, a boundary is still about choice. But walls, there are no choices. If you have walls built around a prison, the prisoners don't have a choice if they stay in or get out. They stay in. So in the same way with our relationships, it's so important that we don't build walls, but instead we build boundaries. A skill set that reveals connection, right? We're looking at relationships moving towards connection. is this: if there's a problem in a relationship, the first goal is not solving the problem. The first goal is connection. It's restoring that connection. It's getting closer together. It's out of that we get understanding. When you choose to keep your love on, you choose to move toward the other person. And that's even in the face of hurt or even mistakes. In a powerful relationship, each person, both people, takes responsibility for their commitment to pursue connection, regardless of what the other person does. Until you commit to this goal of connection, all the relational tools in the world are not going to help you. It's only when you decide to take responsibility to pursue connection that you will discover why you need these tools. Choosing to love and move towards connection is the most powerful choice you could ever make. The person of love resides in every born-again believer. All we have to do is yield to him.